So we talked a couple of different times this afternoon over a call. Most recently, actually, this is just from earlier this afternoon. So the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs is calling for Montreal's commissioner of anti-racism to basically be dismissed. Her name is Bochra Manaï. Ida Yudin is with the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, the ones asking that she be dismissed by the mayor. She's on the line right now. Ida, thank you for being here. I guess the first question is, why are you asking for her dismissal?
Look, she occupies a role that's important in the city, that's funded by taxpayers, and that should represent and be populated with an individual that shows judgment and moral clarity. And given her shocking silence on the tremendous increase in anti-Semitism over the last month and the incidents this week, the Jewish community held 2 emergency press conferences to talk about a Jewish community center, a synagogue that were firebombed, and then 2 schools who had shots fired, and there was total silence. And that's the first warning sign that maybe she's not the right person for the job.
And then, from what I understand, Ida, on social media platforms, there have been some pro-Palestinian posts.
So I want to be clear about something. This isn't about pro or against or about picking sides. My heart breaks for all of the civilians impacted by what's happening, Palestinian and Israelis. And when we're talking about Israelis, there's a huge diversity in the Israeli population: Christians, Jews, Muslims, Palestinian Arabs, Israeli Arabs, Druze, Bedouins. And so that's not what this is about. It's not about taking a side and holding a political stance in a conflict far away. It's about a person charged with advocating against racism in all of its forms for the city of Montreal, and then having a complete and total silence to the worrisome rise of hate and incitement against the Jewish community on the one hand, and then choosing to share posts from groups that were out there on October 8th celebrating with candies the devastating and shocking barbaric massacre of Israelis on October 7th by Hamas terrorists.
I feel like I want to just add, when we spoke to Tom Mulcair just moments ago, he said that she also had said some things publicly. So, we were under the impression up until now that it was simply in her private life that she had said these kinds of things, but at an event on Saturday, evidently in a public
I
forum.
will add to that. I'm seeing now Le Devoir is actually reporting this story about her, saying that since October 7th, since the day of that attack in Israel, this is their quote: "The Commissioner for the Fight Against Racism and Systemic Discrimination has increased her positions in favor of the Palestinian people." That's according to the 10 publications obtained by Le Devoir. So this is not us saying we heard that it might be going on. Clearly, there's evidence to suggest that. Is that not reason enough, Ida, for her to be dismissed from her job?
So again, I want to be clear. It's not about being in favor or against a political cause. I'm in favor of peace for everyone, and hoping that Hamas will back down, release the hostages, and stop attacking Israeli populations, so that we can end this and everyone can have peace, Palestinians and Israelis alike. This is about, she announced that she was at rallies where we saw hateful messages in the streets, where we raised concerns about the rhetoric seen at some of those rallies, the chants at some of those rallies, and the incitement to hatred against the Jewish community, warning that words would lead to action. Action happened, and still nothing but a constant reference to supporting those events without any kind of reaction to the hate, to the hateful messages in those contexts. That's what's of concern.
Have you heard anything from her or from the mayor's office on this?
I have not yet. I've seen a lot of people come out, and rightly so, align themselves with our concerns, because all Montrealers should be concerned. This is not a private individual who has political opinions and is maybe not doing the right thing or not showing the greatest judgment. This is a person tasked with a role for the city of Montreal, and we expect the person in that role to show the kind of moral clarity and judgment that we would in a leader. And we've seen our political leadership do that. We've seen the mayor speak out. We've seen the premier speak out. We've seen several ministers, including the minister responsible for the fight against racism, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Higher Education, the Minister of Public Safety. We've seen members of the National Assembly from all colors condemn the anti-Semitism in the streets. The only person who's been silent is the Montreal Commissioner responsible, the Montreal Anti-Racism Commissioner, and where she's chosen to be vocal is to share links from groups that were throwing candies and celebrating the attacks on October 7th. And that, it's a huge red flag, and, she should use her judgment and just acknowledge that she's not in the right role for her and resign.